No, the light had to be some sort of trick, I figured. Having turned over and went down the alternative pathway, I immediately could feel a rush of cold air hit me. Fuck! It's so dusty down here. I didn't expect this place to be this poorly maintained, nor this deep within the ground. Shaking my head, though, I figured that I was on the right track. The lesser-traveled road is usually the correct one. Once I entered in, I could immediately hear the echoes of heavy machinery roaring to life. The lights all turned on and revealed, well, what appeared to be some kind of surgical or operating theater, lined with tools. What the fuck was a surgical theater doing down in a Walt Disney theme park? They made no sense at all, like the rest of this, and it was really starting to put me through the roof. Not that my sanity was intact. I took a deep breath, though, and realized that frustration would only put me in a worse spot. I walked over to the table and saw what appeared to be one of those damn robots. The things that have tormented me. I knew what I had to do. I was getting to the bottom of this. Oddly enough, this one was designed to look exactly like Walt Disney, down to even the appearance of his eyelids. It was extremely disturbing. I took one of the saws from the table and began to hack away at the wax on it. Each time I did, I got a bit closer and closer before I paused. That didn't feel like metal I just hit. You see, there's a long-running urban legend that they cryopreserved Walt Disney's body to be revived at a later date. Nobody wanted to see the visionary that brought this park to life go, so they obviously would have tried anything to bring him back. But what I'm looking at currently, right now, appears to be a living being that looked exactly like the real Walt Disney, made out of wax. Of course, it reeled back at first as I pulled the saw out. Having gotten a bit of oil and what appeared to be some sort of clear fluid all over myself, I backed away quickly as it reeled around. It didn't appear to be blood, but it had an awful odor to it. My entire body began to shake as I entered into a panic attack. Everything felt like it was almost slowed down, like Father Time himself had frozen in fear at this thing. I don't blame him, though, as I was about ready to faint. Having come to my senses, though, I immediately ran over and grabbed a much sturdier-looking saw for self-defense. Secondly, I had noticed some documents in one of the nearby cabinets that were still intact. I needed those, and I knew it. It was my only ticket to understanding the truth behind this whole shit show. Yet, the figure got up and blocked the way with a firm position. "Let me through!" I shouted, and it proceeded to stare blankly. It seemed to be staring right through me. But then it moved to the side and nodded. I was completely aghast at this rate, and grabbed the files. Running away from the surgical theater and back to the pathway, I could notice the light from the other tunnel was still present. Deciding to go and check that one out, having been on autopilot the entire time. Next thing I can remember, I was climbing a ladder. These blankouts were starting to really unsettle me, yet once I came to my senses, I realized something. I was out. I was free. Jumping to my feet and looking around, I appeared to be around the corner of a building. Luckily, nobody wondered why there was a ghost-stricken 20-year-old college dropout jumping out of a maintenance tunnel in a Disney park. Yet, I digress. Having tucked the files under my shirt, I began to run as fast as I could to the entryway. I didn't care how many eyes would see me, yet I blended into the crowd anyways. On my way to pass through the gateway, though, I stopped at the statue of Walt Disney. I looked at the statue with a look of understanding. Whatever he had known about the park's plans in the future were against his will. And for once, I could feel a connection with the man who had made mine and so many other childhoods. A look of understanding and pity. I'm sorry, there's nothing more I can do, I muttered to the statue, not getting a response back. Why would I expect to get one back? It's a statue, after all. Making my leave towards the exit, however, I could hear the music starting to dim out. And... I swore I could feel like the statue's expression had changed very slightly. It was barely noticeable, yet it had a look of understanding and empathy onto it. Now, I'm not sure if it was just my delusion mind playing tricks on me, but I know one thing for sure. I had to learn the truth.